Hello, everyone. I am Krooked, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give them a 1 through 10 rating. Today we are playing Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Yeah, Dark Forces has a sequel. Okay. It's called Jedi Knight for some reason instead of Dark Forces 2, which I think is really odd. So as we get into this, if you watch my last review of Dark Forces on the PlayStation, the game was terrible. On PC, the game is actually pretty good. And now we're getting into the sequel, so let's see how this is. This is also on PC. This did not get released on PlayStation, thankfully. And yeah, so far we've started on Nar Shaddaa. The city looks really good for PlayStation cinematic at this era. Let's see where we go from here.
I
Wow.
want you to remember, son, when you're at the academy, how very proud I am of you.
Okay.
What a fine young man you've become. I wish your mother were here to see it. But I
This
know she
is,
watches over you and is proud.
This is a good way to start off a game,
After
I
he
guess.
died, your welfare and upbringing was the only thing I truly cared about.
Touching. When someone desires information, they come to me.
Don't waste my time, 88. Tell me who killed my father.
Patience. He is a dark Jedi.
Jedi.
Dark Jedi. He is known as Jarek, and he has
Okay.
great plans
Jarek,
for the rebirth
that's-
of the
ooh.
Empire.
I'm not
That's a name
interested in
that's,
petty political struggles.
Well, you
kind of
should
a deal
Without
in
going
the
into too much
legacy
detail,
Star Wars
Jarek
stuff.
has been quite generous in his offerings. Unfortunately, you don't factor into them. But I am not without a heart.
So,
Familiar,
I mean,
yes.
hey, this is really, really impressive for the time. And I mean, this is better than a lot of cinematics that you'll see in games today, and it sounds really, really good. This is impressive.
It must be important. Tell me what it is, and these gentlemen won't have to indulge their darker side.
The dark side? I've been there. Do your worst.
That was kind of cheesy.
Well, I suppose that concludes our business.
I'm not interested in leaving. I have some business to conclude with your friend, 88.
The guy reminds me of Obi-Wan a little bit. Okay. Whoa. There was a problem here. Okay. Everything's less broken than it was a second ago. Let's return. Okay. That's wild. So, if you can see, the capture is clearly having an issue. Okay. Sorry about that. That was kind of weird. It just stopped capturing properly, as you saw. And I was able to tinker with it a little bit. So, when you start, the controls are reversed. So, if you move the mouse up, it moves down. If you move the mouse down, it moves up. So, that's terrible. But you have fully customizable controls. It certainly looks a lot different than Dark Forces, whereas Dark Forces was a Doom clone. This is a first-person shooter. Fuck your bar. Okay, so going through here, you jump with the right mouse button, and it has creatures that look like Star Wars, but this is kind of the first Star Wars game that I've played that doesn't look like Star Wars. It kind of just looks like generic space sci-fi game with Star Wars characters in it. This looks like something that you'd get off of like Roblox. Really kind of sad given how great its predecessor looked.
Hey.
Okay. I'm hoping it gets better than this. It sounds, it's loud, but it sounds like Star Wars, which, that's cool. There's a nice, I mean, it's obviously the Imperial March that's playing. And that's kind of cool, but so far this feels, whoa. I almost fell. It feels like a bad version of Shadows of the Empire. And it's not a good thing, because Shadows of the Empire was a pretty good game. Is still actually a pretty good game. This just feels like maybe they were forced to make a style of game they didn't want to. I don't know. It's really hard to tell what they're trying to achieve here. Is this all that I have now? Okay. Let's go! Okay. I'm gonna stick to my handy dandy blaster. So this game doesn't really look pretty. It sounds good, like most Star Wars games do, and it has a bit more story to it than what Dark Forces 1 had, which is definitely a plus. But it also has a lot of negatives that the original Dark Forces didn't have on PC. And I think it's hurting it more than anything else, because it's just... So far, this game feels so generic that if you weren't explicitly told that this is Star Wars, you would never guess that this is Star Wars. It just feels like generic space game with blasters, and it says force powers in the menu. I'm sure that it gets a bit more Star Wars-y later on, but just the initial game, it doesn't have anything special about it. It's just kinda, it exists. And I think that's the worst thing for a Star Wars game to be, because if it doesn't have anything special, it's just another Star Wars game. I was like, do I have to do anything? Do I just wait here? So I think I have force powers I can use. I don't know how to use them. I could look it up in the menu, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to do this. There's a droid, there's this guy. It is easier to navigate than Dark Forces. I have to give it that as well. But I don't know. Dark Forces did a lot right by being a fun Doom clone. This just feels like it's not Doom enough to be Doom, and it's not anything else enough to be anything else. Big empty areas, a bunch of health power-ups hidden everywhere. It plays like kind of like a modern first-person shooter, but without any of the cool stuff with modern first-person shooters. Oh no, I died. Whoa, and then I start here. Oh, right back at the beginning. I get to go through all of that again. If you really like Dark Forces, you might get some enjoyment out of this game, but it feels so generic that I can't even begin to want to play more of it. Not much of it is satisfying, but again, if you were a fan of Dark Forces, you might like it. I'm going to go ahead and give Dark Forces 2 a 5 out of 10. I don't think... You're either going to like it or you're going to hate it, and there's no love to be had, really. It's just very okay, and if you want something that is this, maybe for the story, but with none of it being canon anyway, I'm not sure why you'd want that either, because at the end of the day, this game really just becomes a waste of time. Especially when there's so much other stuff to play. But that's kind of Star Wars. Some of it's really good, and some of it's not. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that way you never miss out on Unscripted. Don't forget to hit that bell so that way you'll be notified whenever there's a new episode. And if you want to support the channel a little bit further, you can always check out our Patreon down below in the description. Other than that, thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you next time. Bye!
What's happening? I know nothing. Mind your own business.